Alright, so we're going to be making hash browns today. For our ingredients, we're going to just season this lightly with butter, salt, pepper, and some garlic. Today we're going to be using the Little Company small potatoes. These are not the ones you have to use. They're kind of a bit, I think of them as waxy. They are very delicious in flavor though, but if you want a potato that's going to like crisp up a little more on the outside, you could use something more like a russet that tends to fall apart a little bit more as you bake it. So yeah, we're going to start off by cutting them into sizes that we like for having hash browns. So
P.S. I bought these potatoes from my ungrateful brother.
Wait, what? So yeah, the smaller ones can just be cut in half. Some of the bigger ones like this, we're going to cut into quarters. What an amazing job you did cutting. That was so fast. Alright, now we're going to put our potatoes in the boiling water. I'm going to cook them for a bit because it just helps with like making sure they cook all the way through, and then also it allows you to crisp up the outside a little bit better without burning it. Whee! Okay, try not to do that. Just, like put them in a little more gently, a bit closer. If you don't pre-boil your water, it's a little less scary. Just saying. Oh my gosh. I leave you alone for like 1 minute and this is what happens.
Ready.
No, okay. So yeah, we can definitely prep some onion up to be able to add to the potatoes once they're frying. While everything's boiling, this is a great time to prep our garlic as well. So with the garlic, really neat trick that I have learned from watching way too many other chefs do smart things is we can peel this and then we can add some salt onto our cutting board while we're chopping up the garlic to make sure that it captures all of the oils and grease and fats that's coming out of the garlic, that flavor, and be able to put it in with our salt and pepper flavoring.
I'm cutting the onion wrong.
No.
We have a problem, Houston!
Depending on how you want to cut your onion, there's a few different ways you can do it. So usually with the onion, instead of cutting
How to fix the onion problem? Take one.
You'd usually leave the end on because it helps keep everything together. So the problem with cutting the onion this way is you get kind of these interesting shapes and slices from cutting through the onion like that. Whereas if you come and you cut your onion from the top like this, you're going to get these pieces that come apart much nicer like this. And you can choose whatever size you want. If you want slices that aren't so long, usually what I like to do is I'll cut right through the onion until it's almost the end so it's still holding on together. And then we can cut off to make kind of cubes, or you can leave them a little bit longer.
Fixed. So here we have a little garlic. We're going to do a whack-a-mole, whack a garlic. Haha. Haha.
Really? You call that whacking your garlic? Come on.
Ooh. Cut into your palm.
Just cut off those fingers.
This one goes out to Grandma Donna.
Make sure you got a few band-aids on the side.
Make sure you nick your palms in any cooking process.
So crushing it like that can just kind of help make it a little bit easier to chop up. Now you're going to want to grate some salt on top of your garlic. More salt than that. We're going to use this to also season the potatoes as well. Potatoes absolutely love their salt.
Say when?
Sure.
Okay.
That wasn't when.
Okay, and just chop them?
Yeah, and just go ham now.
It's garlic, not ham. Master Chef!
Oh, what is it this time?
What do we do?
What do you mean, what do you do? Check if the potatoes are ready? Oh, okay.
Hey!
So, generally, the potatoes, once you put them in boiling, 10 minutes is about the most they'll need. Yes, we're going to use a fork to check if they're done or not. So, if you don't have the exact time, you haven't been checking, it's not hot. Stop being dramatic. Alright, so you're going to stick your fork, poke it into the potato, and you want to basically have it cooked almost the whole way through.
I'm going to fork the potatoes?
Yes, you are. Generally, how do they feel?
Soft. Pretty soft.
Good. I would say that they're done then.
Kind
we
of
can drain them
apart.
and move on to the next step. So if you're using a potato that flakes apart a little bit more and you want to have kind of that nice crispier coating on the outside of the potato, you can wait until they start breaking apart on the outside. These potatoes, a bit waxier, they're not going to really do that so much.
Okay, so what are we doing next?
All right, so our potatoes are ready. So we're gonna put some butter in the pan to get going before we throw our potatoes in.
Good?
Wait, you call that enough butter?
Yeah.
No. When you're cooking with butter, especially when you're doing potatoes, the butter is the main source of cooking and the main source of flavor. So make sure we're putting lots in.
Make it better.
At the same time here, you want to be adding your pepper at this point. Black pepper, it brings out and enhances the flavor if you dry roast it a bit on the pan. So we're not technically fully dry roasting it because there's also going to be butter in here at the time, but it's really going to help bring out that flavor.
What about the garlic?
So we don't want to burn our garlic, so we're going to wait to put that in until almost at the very end.
What about the onions?
Also, those can burn a little bit, so we're going to wait a little bit before we throw those in.
Okay.
And they're going to go in a little later.
So taters in the butter and the pot.
Potatoes in there. And because we pre-boiled the potatoes, we're going to be cooking at a temperature that's basically right at medium on your stove. So right in between low and high. You can turn it down a little bit depending on how much you pre-cook your potatoes. Or you can turn it up a little bit at the end if you really want to crisp up the outside and they haven't fully crisped up for you yet.
Push it.
No, not
Push
salt
it
yet.
real
Not
good.
yet. Wait for the salt.
Okay.
Again with all the posing. She's such a show-off. So yeah, our potatoes have been cooking for like maybe 7 minutes. We give them a little bit of a stir. When you're cooking with butter, it's really important that you don't get your heat too high because butter loves to burn. Oil lasts a lot longer. You don't have to worry about burning as much. The main thing though is we're not stirring all the time, right? We're not ready for the garlic yet, but we're definitely ready for the onions. Those go in after the potatoes have cooked for a bit, but before they're finished cooking. So yeah, usually around 7 minutes or so. Because they've been pre-boiled, we're probably gonna cook these potatoes maximum 15 minutes, maybe 12 minutes. Oh, like look at this beautiful potato right there. Turned out great. As you can see, the onions are starting to get themselves cooked, and you can stir a little bit more frequently if you need to help the onions get cooked and make sure that they're not burning too much on there. Again, with butter, very careful with the temperature. I did end up turning it down a little bit below medium. As your pan starts to heat up, you'll probably need to do that to make sure that the butter doesn't burn on your food. At this point, these are looking really good, and we can go ahead and add in our garlic. Sous chef, put in the garlic. And with all of that salt that's attached to our garlic as well, it's going to add a lot of nice flavoring with that bit of salt. You can add a little bit more salt here if you are somebody who loves to have your salt on heavy. Again, these are potatoes. Sexy stir.
We'll just like be like, and like intro the potatoes and enjoy or whatever, and then we'll like stab them.
Yeah, eat delicious food. It's amazing. Was there anything else that you needed to explain? Like anything else that you're like?
I always put my garlic in like with my butter at the start of my cooking experiences.
So the problem with that is you can put your garlic in to infuse that garlic flavor in your butter first, but the individual pieces of the garlic, when we're frying like this, they're just going to burn. And then they're going to become these black, crispy, burnt pieces of garlic, which at this point, that would be way too burnt. They can be a little tasty, but these are cooking in the pan for so long that it's just
too much.
You want to wait.